How you guys doing? I'm Charles, your host, Nerd with a Phone 1 on Twitter and Instagram. This is Nerd with a Phone Podcast Channel 2. Get Nerdified, that's the name of the channel. That's also the mantra, the meaning, and the life, right? So, alright, on this episode for Halloween, we are talking a little bit of sad celebrity news in that James Bond actor Sean Connery has passed away at age 90 today, and his son reports that he was surrounded by a family in the Bahamas when he passed, and he was battling a long-time ailment, which has yet to be announced what that was, but the man was 90, so, most likely the ravages of time is what caused it, but we digress, right? Welcome into the show. I figured the best tribute that I could come up with for Mr. Connery would be to review one of my favorite movies of all time. And it happens to be Mr. Sean Connery's favorite performance he ever did as James Bond. And he mentioned that several times in many interviews throughout the years. So we're going to review From Russia with Love, which, as always, when I review something, the best place, in my opinion, you could probably get this from right now is going to be Google Play. Alright, the best quality and the best price, and able to play it in the most places from Google Play. There's also a free version that you can get from searching on dailymotion.com, but that is only 59 minutes and 50 seconds. It's a very, very short version of the film. They edited a lot of it, so no, we're going to go with the Google Play version for this. Or, as always, Microsoft Video does a pretty decent job as well. I'm not sure, you might have Epix or Hulu. They're available there as well, according to my internet research. Results may vary based on when you listen. Has to be said. Now, From Russia with Love was released in 1963, but the copyright date on Google Play says it's 1964. So, one of those years, right? I mean, it came out in October 63. So, yeah, maybe there was some licensing reason for the 64 date here. Who knows? But one of my favorites of all time. It's slow and methodical in its pacing, and there's just a ton of story here. And if you love the spy genre, everything, you can see in this film how it inspired a lot of Jason Bourne, or even the 90s Tom Clancy films, right? So, I mean, yeah, like, from beginning, middle, and end, this movie basically classified the genre for over 50 years now. And I can see why it was one of, if not the, favorite performance that Sean Connery ever did. Yes, its pacing is a bit slow for modern audiences, and it was slow for me even in the 80s when I watched it the first time as a 13-year-old kid. But it's a very thought-provoking film, which you don't get a lot of when you're talking about the spy genre in general. It has many things in there to make you think about the world in general, and it's hard to put it into words other than that. Taken as a whole, it is a commentary on the fragility of life, right? Just like that, it can be over. And the movie really drives that home in a way that has become cliched now, but it's cliched for a reason. It is basically necessary to take stock every now and then of everything that's going on in your life, right? But I'm going to recommend this movie as the tomato meter from RottenTomatoes.com will tell you. This is over 95% rotten, which on their scale means good, and I agree. Very fun time to be had with this film, and I highly recommend other Sean Connery films as well, as this is meant mainly as a tribute to him. If you've never seen The Hunt for Red October, check out that movie. Yes, it's a Scottish guy playing a Russian captain, and Sean Connery always plays himself in everything. Also, The Rock, and for some reason, the much maligned Dragonheart. The CG in that is probably most of it, but Mr. Connery's performance in Dragonheart is among his best ever done. I think something that will gain an audience now that he's passed on, because the film is strange and everything like that, is of course The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. It's kind of a train wreck film, and it made him, Mr. Connery, retire from Hollywood after putting up with that director, in his own words, right? But we're going to keep this fairly short, as I do need to work in the morning and everything, but I promised that I would put out an episode about this, about Mr. Connery's passing, and we have done so, and I'm recording now with a different roommate than the one I've had in the past, and you may be able to hear some things going on in the background, and I do apologize for that. I don't really have that many sound deadening techniques that I can use, so I apologize if you're hearing anything in the background. Hopefully they're watching something related to the spy genre, so that it feels accidentally on purpose, right? Anyway, my name is Charles, Nerd with the Phone 1 on Twitter and Instagram. You, of course, well, you're you, and you've listened to an episode of Get Nerdified. That's Nerd with a Phone Podcast, Channel 2, here on Spreaker.fm. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll be on here a little more often, as it just re-upped for another year here on Spreaker. Going to get some things going and see how it goes, but R.I.P. Sean Connery. Condolences to his friends, family, and closest relatives, right? And we will see you next time here on Get Nerdified. Peace out.